What if I told you there's a town that was completely erased, wiped from every map, every record, and even from people's memories? A place that existed once, but now doesn't. No one knows why. No one remembers when. But some say, if you drive far enough into the woods at night, you can still hear it breathing. There's a place somewhere in the northern hills of America that doesn't officially exist. Old maps might show a name Raven Hollow, but search for it today, and you'll find nothing. No coordinates, no photos, no mentions in history books. Just silence. Yet decades ago, it was alive. People lived there. Children went to school. The market was open, and every Sunday, the bell tower would ring across the valley. Until one night, it didn't. The story begins with a man named Thomas Greer, a postal worker who delivered letters to Raven Hollow for 12 years. Every morning, he took the same route through the woods, passing the same ancient oak tree and the same narrow bridge. But one morning, his route simply wasn't there. The road ended abruptly in a dense wall of trees that hadn't been there the day before. Confused, Thomas drove back to town and started asking around, but no one had ever heard of Raven Hollow. They looked at him like he was mad, saying, "There's never been a town there." Thomas thought he was losing his mind until he found something in his old mailbag. It was a single letter addressed to the Raven Hollow post office, and it was dated 3 days after the town had vanished. The sender's name was his own. His hands trembling, he opened it, but the envelope was empty. He kept that letter locked in a drawer for the rest of his life. A silent testament to a memory no one else shared. Years passed, and the silence around Raven Hollow began to fill with whispers. Strange rumors started to spread like wildfire. Some said the town was part of a secret government experiment, a dark test to see if collective memory could be manipulated and erased on a mass scale. Others believed the town was cursed, built over ancient ground that demanded silence in return for trespassing on its slumber. But the strangest theory claimed Raven Hollow never actually existed in our timeline at all that. It was a crossed memory, a glitch from a parallel reality that had accidentally bled into ours for just a moment. The stories only grew stranger. People who lived near the woods where Raven Hollow was said to be began finding things. Unsettling things. A single, rusty mailbox, standing alone in a clearing, with no house in sight. A child's swing, slowly moving back and forth on a windless day. And then there was the radio signal, an old, faint broadcast that whispered the same chilling phrase every night. "We remember you." One local man, a radio enthusiast, managed to record the signal. 2 days later, he vanished without a trace. His car was found parked beside a road that led nowhere, next to a freshly painted sign that read Raven Hollow Population 214. A sign that shouldn't exist. The police took it as evidence, and it was never seen again. Decades passed, and with no new evidence, the story of Raven Hollow faded into local folklore. People forget until an anonymous post appeared on a dark web forum. The post claimed to have found the original town charter of Raven Hollow. The document was dated 1923, but it was signed in 1925, 2 years after the town supposedly disappeared. The signature at the bottom read Thomas Greer, the same postman who had himself vanished from public records years before, but he died in 1971. How could his name appear on a document signed after the town was gone, and decades before he passed away? The timeline made no sense. This new evidence sparked a wave of chilling theories. Some believe the town wasn't erased at all, it simply shifted, existing now in the space between moments, where time folds back on itself. Others say it is still there, just hidden from our sight, waiting for someone to remember it back into existence. And here's the strangest part of this whole story. People who hear this tale, people like you, sometimes report dreaming of a place they've never been. A quiet town, empty streets, and a single bell ringing faintly through a thick fog. When they wake up, they remember a name they shouldn't know. Raven Hollow. So if you ever find yourself driving down a road that suddenly disappears into the trees, or if your GPS shows a blank spot where a town should be, turn around. Because some places were never meant to be found. And if you ever hear the distant sound of bells deep in the wood, because maybe, just maybe, Raven Hollow is calling you back. If you want to hear about the other places that shouldn't exist, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.